Hi everyone and welcome to day 5 of Wonderland week. I hope you're enjoying the series as much as I am. I have got a card and some little embellishments to share with you today. So I'm going to start with the card. I found this image online and it says, if you can't look on the bright side, I will sit with you in the dark. And I just think that that is one of the most beautiful quotes I've ever read. And then you've got this really beautiful picture from the more recent film of Alice in Wonderland, not the Disney version, so with Johnny Depp as the Mad Hatter, and then you've got this beautiful watercolour outline, and I absolutely loved it, so I printed it out as a 4x6 picture on just plain white cardstock. I matted it on some of this Hunky Dory Miri Matte rainbow card, which as you know I use quite often. And then I put it onto a 5x7 white card from Hobbycraft that I trimmed down slightly just to give the border a little bit, make it a little bit more even. Then I've just added various different Paper Mania stars. I'm obsessed with these little gemstones at the moment, so if I just bring them in closer, and because of the rainbow in the card and the rainbow in the watercolour, I just used various different colours, and actually I think that worked out nicer than just using one. And that's blank inside at the moment. I haven't written the message to Sam just yet, and as you can see the envelope's just a little bit too big, but it doesn't really matter too much. So that's the card. And then I made this little box using the envelope punch board, which I will do a video on, but I'm not going to do it while I'm sharing all the embellishments. But it's really easy to make this, and I just use that with printable paper. And inside, I'm going to zoom in a bit. So, sorry if that's wiggling. You open the box, it's like a little treat box, and there's some tissue paper. So I've stuffed tissue paper at the bottom and then some more tissue paper on the top. If I bring it slightly closer, if I take this off, inside are some little drink me bottles. So what I've done is I've got these little glass bottles with corks on that have got various different bits and pieces inside. So this one's little red rhinestones, and then I printed off this little tiny image, drink me, on white cardstock, and then I used Mod Podge to attach it to the little bottles. So this one, as I say, has got little red rhinestones in. Then you've got this one here, has got blue glitter, the little Drink Me logo, and then this one has got white glitter flakes, like an iridescent finish, and there's the little picture. And I think these have come out super cute. I was tempted to turn them into charms, but I just like the fact that they're a little bit of a surprise in the box. I think making them into a charm, I did put them in a little clear bag to begin with, but I much prefer having them hidden in the little box. So I'm going to tuck those back in. Oops. I can mirror this, because I want the little Drink Me logos to be facing up. One now. So there you have it. I'm going to cover that with tissue and then close that up. And there you have it, a little gift box, Alice in Wonderland, with some little Drink Me labels, and the card that I have made. So thank you for tuning in to day 5 of Wonderland week. If you are interested to know how I made this box, I'm going to attach a little tutorial to the end of this video, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 6. Can't believe there's only 2 days to go, but there are such amazing things to share with you. So I will see you all tomorrow. Take care everyone, bye. Okay, to make the little box you're going to need an envelope punch board, and I'm going to need my trimmer because the paper that I'm going to be using I haven't cut down yet. So I've printed off this Alice and the Flamingo paper. It's a digital download, and I'm going to cut this down to 6x6. I'm going to trim off the white there, and on this side as well. And now I can cut this to the right size. So I want it 6 inches by 6 inches. And then this size will create a box exactly the same size as the one I've already shown you. If you can repeat this tutorial using a different size paper, and then you'll see you'll get a completely different size box. So what I want to do is, whatever size I've made it, whether that's in inches or in centimetres, I want to divide that by 3. So it has to be a square, you can't do a rectangle, and then I need to divide that by 3. So because I've done 6 inches, mine will be 2 inches. So on my envelope punch board, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. Oh, sorry, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, move a bit closer. On here, I want to line my paper up with 2 inches. So here, so if I'd done it as a 9 by 9 piece of paper, obviously I would line it up with 3 inches. If I've done it in centimetres, then I'm going to need to use this ruler that's fainter down here. But I've just done it 6 by 6 because I find that a little bit easier. So I'm going to punch, and then I'm going to score. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the paper over, so I'm doing the same side, and I'm going to go to 2 inches. I'm going to punch, and I'm going to score. So now I've started to get something that looks a bit like this. It looks a bit odd to begin with. Now I want to rotate, and I just do the same on all 4 sides. So I punch at 2, and then I score, and then I turn it over. It's very important that I don't just go to 4, and I punch, and you'll see this score line has already been made because that links to one of the ones that I've done originally here. So you'll see that you start not necessarily needing to score, because you can see that's going on the exact same score line. So I'm going to turn this round, line it up with 2, and again my score line has already been done for me, so I don't need to do that one. Turn it over, punch that at 2, score again, and then I've got one final side, but all my score lines are done. I just need to line it up with 2 and punch, turn it over, line it up with 2 and punch. So now I've got something that looks like this. So I've got 2 notches on each of the sides, and then each of those notches has a score line. Now what I need to do is I need to score between these notches. So these flaps here need to have a score line. So the easiest way for me to do that is to line this notch up here. So now I'm lining up to 4, and then when I score, that scores straight across that flap there. So on this side, I'll show you again. I'm going to line this one up with 4, and then when I score here, I've done that to my flap. So I'm going to do that on the other 2 sides as well. I don't need to punch anything because that hole has already been done. Okay, so now I've got something that looks like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to take a moment. Obviously, hopefully you'll be doing this on a desk. I did make these on the desk, but I'm filming on my bed. So I'm going to use my trimmer just to lean on for a second, because I want to go along and I want to just crease each of these folds using my bone folder. So I'm just going to go along like this and do each of these creases this way. And I'm going to turn it and do each of the creases. I'll zoom you out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. So I'm just scoring that one, then doing the whole fold like this, scoring that one, turn that over, score that one, I've got one more little bit to do, score that one. So now all of my folds are scored, making it a little bit easier. Now I'm just going to grab my glue, sorry I forgot to get it. So I'm going to be using glossy accents for this. You can use whichever glue that you want, but I tend to use this one because I've got it. Please excuse the discoloration. I thought I'd be smart one day and put a pin in to stop the hole from getting clogged up. Like you can buy those special lids for it, and yeah, it discoloured. So I don't have very clear glossy accents anymore, but I'm using it up. You can use an ATG gum, but I just find this is easier with wet glue. And essentially what you want to be doing is you want to bring these 2 sides up, and as you do so you'll see this flap is bending. So I'm going to bring you back in a bit. So I've got a flap here and a flap here, and then between those 2 sides, as I lift them and bring them together, you can see that that's pinching like that. So I want to do that, and I want to flatten that side. So I've made a crease like that. I can turn that, I can use my bone folder if I want to try and get that a little bit straighter. And then what I want is a little bit of glue on the inside of here. So I'm just going to put glue, oh sorry, well out of frame. Just going to put my very discoloured glue on one side of that flap there. And then I'm going to pinch that together. That's making sure that my outside edges are lined up nicely to make it nice and neat. I'm just going to pinch that there for a minute, and then I'm going to find that my flap folds one way easier. That way it folds a bit easier, so I'm going to add a bit of glue on this side here. So pop on, oh, a big bit of glue there, spread it around, and then I'm going to hold that flap against the edge there. I'm going to just hold that there for a few seconds and then it should stick. I'm going to bring you out a little bit more. I'm going to show you again, not quite so close. So now I'm going to move to this side, and then as I bring these two edges up, just bend that slightly in. Oh. As I bring those edges together, like that, I'm going to pinch that piece down. Make sure I'm lined up nicely. Pinch that piece down. I'm going to place it down. Just use my bone folder to push that down slightly. So now I've got a nice crease like this. So I'm going to pop in a little bit of glue in here. Pinch that together. Wipe off anything that squeezes out. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to realistically stick it on the same side that I've already stuck down on, rather than it going around in circles. So I'm going to stick it this way to match this one. So dab on a little bit of glue, whoop, like that. I'm going to hold that down, and I'm just going to hold it for a moment or so just to let the glue have a moment to grip. You don't have to fold these up, and you don't have to glue them down, to be fair. You could put the box all together, but I just think this way it's going to stay together when I post it much better. So that's the second side. So now we need to repeat for these two sides. So I'm going to speed this bit up a little bit now because I've shown you twice. So that is my box made. Now for the top, there are a couple of ways that you could finish this off. So you can fold two of those down, and then you can do what I did on the first one and cut a little slit on either side so that they just kind of slot in together. But to be honest, that's not really very durable, and I've opened and shut it a few times and the paper's bending. I've not used the thickest card. So what I think I'm going to do is, I haven't actually got any upstairs, but cut just a really small little Velcro dot, and then you can stick them together. So then that way it's a little bit more durable when your recipient is opening and closing the box. Or you could just use a little glue dot, and then again they can just pull it open, and then inside you can hide whichever goodies you want. So this box I'm going to finish off. I'm going to go and grab myself a Velcro dot and some tissue paper, and then we'll finish this off together. Okay, so this is the Velcro that I have. In case anyone was wondering, you get 75 Velcro dots. They're 5/8 of an inch. Now the reason I buy these, I actually buy these for resources that I make for school, which if anyone would be interested to see what I make, if you've got little ones, they're quite fun activities. I'm happy to show you in other videos, but the reason I get these is because they're clear. So if I just show you, the soft part of the Velcro is white as normal, like this, but it's incredibly flat. It's really, really soft. It's not the normal Velcro. You can see how thin that is. It's absolutely tiny. And then the actual, like the sticky bit of the Velcro is clear. So when you stick this on your projects, it doesn't show through. And that's why I love this. It is quite expensive. It cost me £7 for 75. So it is pricey. But if ever I show you the resources, you'll see why I have to use the clear ones that I make. So I'm going to take off one of these little clear ones. I'm going to zoom you in. So I'm going to use, what's the square, isn't it? So I'm going to use those two to go down, and then this will be the bit where it sticks down. So let's pop that on as close to the edge as I can, like that. As you can see, you can't even see it. It's absolutely brilliant, and as I said, they are so thin. So then I'm going to stick one of these softer ones, and what I do is I stick it on the Velcro like this, and then I line everything up, and then I stick it down, and then that way I know the Velcro is placed in the right place. So as you can see on both sides, that is incredibly thin. You can't even see it on that side. Ta-da! And I definitely wish I'd done that on this box. I'd cut little slits. You can still do this. This is what the lady the tutorial watched, that's what she did, and it does look great, but I just don't think it's going to be as durable as doing it like this. Now I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to grab myself some of this blue sparkly tissue paper. I'm going to cut myself off a small piece. So, oh, could help if I had some scissors. Oh, Amy. Goodness me, I'm unprepared today. Right, I'm going to cut myself off a little slice of this tissue. I'm going to cut this tissue in half. I've got this tissue paper in Hobbycraft. I've got it in dark pink, in pink, dark blue and light blue. I'm going to scrunch a little piece up so that I can line the bottom of my box. Now this box is going to be for the little blue Alice in Wonderland themed charm that I made in my tutorial video. If you haven't watched that, I will link it below. But as I say, this is Wonderland week, so there's lots of bits and pieces linked to Alice in Wonderland. And I just wanted to package this a little bit more special, so I'm going to tuck that in there. And then I'm going to scrunch up this other piece of tissue paper. And I'm going to pop that on top. And then I'm going to close up my little gift box. And there you go. Little fun way to package up an item. And as I say, all I used was my trimmer, my envelope punch board, Velcro dots and scissors, and a little bit of glue. And all you need is a 6x6 paper to make one this big. And as I say, if you use a 12x12 paper, you'd make an even bigger box. So I'm really pleased I found the little tutorial for this, and I'll link the original video below, and I hope that I've been easy-ish to follow for you. And I will see you for tomorrow for, is it day 6 tomorrow? Yeah, day 6 of Wonderland week. See you later.